Hi guys, this is O-Level Chemistry, paper 12, June 2017, question 21. Which gas dissolves in water to give a solution with a pH of greater than 7? So a pH of greater than 7 would mean that the solution is basic in nature. So ammonia is a basic gas. It would dissolve in water producing an aqueous solution of ammonia which has a pH of greater than 7. Carbon dioxide being an acidic gas would give a pH of less than 7 when it dissolves in water and it only partially dissolves. Nitrogen dioxide is an acidic gas. It would give a pH of less than 7 when it dissolves in water, and sulfur dioxide is also an acidic gas which when dissolved in water would form an acidic solution with a pH of less than 7. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option A. Question 22. Element X forms an oxide of formula H2O5. In which group of the periodic table is X likely to be found? Okay, since X has two atoms in the compound and O has 5 atoms in the compound, this must have found by cross multiplication. So this has a charge of +5 and this would have a charge of -2 because oxides have a charge of -2. Therefore, X having a charge of +5 means X would belong to group 5 because in group 5 we can have 5 valence electrons present. So options are group 2 wrong, group 3 wrong, group 5 correct, and group 8 wrong. Therefore, option C is the correct option for this question. Question 23. Element M is a typical transition metal. Which property will it not have? A low melting point? Yes, transition metals have high melting points. Colored compounds, all transition atoms or elements form colored compounds. Good electrical conductivity, all of them are metal, so they will conduct electricity really well. They have variable oxidation state. It is a property of transition elements. So option A is the correct option for this question. Question 24. An atom of element E forms a white oxide of formula EO. So that means E would have a charge of +2 belonging to group 2. So E belongs to group 2. Okay. What is E? Is it argon? Argon is a noble gas. It will not react. B, is it calcium? Yes, it is calcium because calcium has a 2 positive charge. But let's look at the other options. Copper. Copper also has a 2 positive charge. So it could be copper. And potassium. Potassium has a charge of +1. So it would form E2O as a compound. So now we are left with calcium and copper. And now the color of the oxide is white. Calcium forms a white oxide, whereas copper forms a black oxide. So the white oxide would be the one that is EO and not the black oxide. Therefore, option B is the correct option for this question. Question 25. The table shows the proton numbers of 4 elements Q, R, T, and Z. Proton numbers 9, 11, 17, and 19. So looking at the periodic table, we know that this is fluorine, this is sodium, this is chlorine, and this is potassium. Which statement is correct? Q is a metal. It is fluorine. It is not a metal. Q is more reactive than T. Fluorine is more reactive than chlorine. Yes. R is more reactive than Z. R is sodium. Z is potassium. For metals down the group, the reactivity increases. So Z is more reactive than R. And for halogens, the reactivity down the group decreases. So Q is more reactive than T. T and Z are in the same period. Chlorine is in period 3, potassium is in period 4. So this is also incorrect, making option B the correct option for this question. Question 26. The result of experiments involving four metals W, X, Y, and Z, and the ions are shown. Y reacts with Z, positive ions, forming Y positive ions, and Z solid. That means metal Y is more reactive than metal Z. W does not react with X, making W less reactive than X. Z reacts with X, positive ions, forming Z positive ions and X, making Z more reactive than X. So now we can arrange them in order of reactivity, because what is asked is what is the order of reactivity of the four metals most reactive to least reactive. So Y is more reactive than Z, which is more reactive than X. So Y more reactive than Z, more reactive than X, and W is less reactive than X. That means X is more reactive than W. So this is the order of reactivity from most reactive to least reactive. So this order is found in option C, making C the correct option for this question. Question 27. Metals have a structure of positive ions in a sea of electrons. Metals are malleable because it is possible to force the ions to slide over each other. The alloy brass is dash malleable than pure copper and then pure zinc, more or less. So it is an alloy, it is a mixture of copper and zinc. So it would be less malleable. And brass is dash to conduct electricity. Brass is a metal, it is an alloy, it is able to conduct electricity. So which words correctly complete gaps 1 and 2? Gap 1 is less, eliminating option C and D, and gap 2 is able, eliminating option A, making option B the correct option for this question. Question 28. Which two substances are removed from bottom of a blast furnace? Coke is used up when the blast furnace reaction is occurring. Iron is the final product that we need. So iron is removed. Limestone is used up during the reaction. It reacts with the acidic impurity SiO2. And slag is there which floats over iron. So we've got two substances that can be removed from the bottom of the blast furnace, and they are mentioned in points 2 and 4, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 29. Aluminum is used in the manufacture of airplanes. What is a property of aluminum and is also a reason for this use? It has low density. Yes, this is a property of aluminum and it is the use of aluminum in airplanes because if the metal has low density, then the aeroplane would have a lesser weight compared to other metals that might be used. So it is a good conductor of electricity. We do not use aeroplanes to conduct electricity ever. It is a poor conductor of heat. No, it is a good conductor of heat. We use aluminum utensils for cooking. It is covered in an unreactive layer of aluminum carbonate. No, it is covered in an unreactive layer of aluminum oxide. So the correct option here is option A. Question 30. How can the reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen be described? So the reaction between nitrogen and hydrogen is N2 gas plus 3H2 gas, giving us 2NH3 gas. Okay. It is a displacement reaction. No, nothing is displaced. It is a neutralization reaction. There are no acids and bases involved. It is a precipitation reaction. There is no solid product formed. It is a reversible reaction. Yes, this sign here is a sign for a reversible reaction. Therefore, option D is the correct option for this question.